First race on day 5 of the Louis Vuitton Trophy was a Franco-German affair, pitching all for one against Aleph from France. A relatively docile pre-start began to heat up as the clock ticked down. Sébastien Coll at the helm of all for one, pushing Bertrand Passé on Aleph, looking for a penalty, but drawing only green flags from the umpires. Skirmishing over, the boats split tacks, Aleph going left, all for one heading right. Both tacticians committed to their decision for a big separation. When they came back for the first cross, they were neck and neck. Passé deciding to dip below Coll, with both boats swapping sides. All for one had a slight edge, and from that cross it began to grow. Jochen Schumann and John Cutler in the afterguard in phase with the subtle wind shifts. After the first run, Aleph had to ring the changes and took the opposite gate to all for one, driving right in search of something special. But there was nothing there. Instead, all for one found more breeze out left and marched away to win by a huge margin of 1 minute and 9 seconds. Word off Emirates Team New Zealand before they entered the box outlined their strategy to take the pin end of the line, and they soon mixed it up with Azzurra to drive home the plan. With All Black star Dan Carter as 18th man, Dean Barker harried Francesco Bruni at the helm of Azzurra. The Kiwis afterguard calling for a penalty, but receiving only a green flag. Still, they forced Azzurra to tack ahead of the line, and in a split-tack start, Team New Zealand hit the pin end at speed going left. Azzurra slightly slower going right. The Kiwis were where they wanted to be, and the Italians looked happy too, both boats plugging up their chosen side until they were on the extremes of the course. At one stage, Azzurra was showing a 40-metre lead, but once again, towards the top end of the beat, Emirates Team New Zealand hooked into a lift and simply leapt into a big lead. It was just as well, given their problems at the top mark, where the spinnaker pole fell into the water. The spar dragged back around the shrouds before snapping, the third broken pole of the regatta. Unlike the similar mishap on Artemis yesterday, the Kiwi crew kept the kite up for what turned into a one-jibe reach to the bottom mark gate, losing only 2 of the 51 seconds lead they'd had at the top. Azzurra couldn't make any inroads on the second lap either, and Emirates Team New Zealand had some revenge for the defeat the Italians inflicted on them in Nice last November. Race 3 saw both teams wanting the left, the winless Synergy battling hard with Team Origin in the start box, chasing the British boat hard and eventually getting the hook to force Van Ainslie to tack towards the committee boat. That left the path clear for Karel Jablonski to aim at the pin end, which had proved to be the favoured position in the preceding race. Having tacked quickly back onto starboard, Origin then positioned themselves in the centre of the course and the drag race was on. What Synergy tactician Rod Dawson was waiting for was the lift on the left that had so favoured Emirates Team New Zealand in race 2. Sadly for the Russians, it never turned up, and instead it was the British boat that lifted into the lead. Synergy tried to keep it close on the downwind, moving again to the city side of the harbour in search of some elusive extra pressure. Still, it failed to materialise and Origin remained comfortably ahead, the margin increasing dramatically as Synergy lost control of its kite heading into the bottom mark gate. The Russian boat sailed 6 or 7 lengths past the mark until they got it sorted out, while Origin sailed away to victory. Race 4 had the famously combative starter Gavin Brady at the helm of Mascalzone Latino, happy to mix it up with Terry Hutchinson driving Artemis, with the Italian boat coming out on top. Artemis jibed too close to Mascalzone Latino and couldn't complete the manoeuvre without impeding the Italians. Up went the protest flag, followed by the yellow flag penalising Artemis. Enjoying a potential game breaker, Brady kept clear and went for a committee boat end start, leaving Artemis the left-hand side of the course, which earlier in the day had proved to be the winner. The Italians, though, knew they just had to keep in touch, and that's what they did. Artemis rounded the top mark just 7 seconds ahead, a margin soon to increase as the Jenica detached itself from the bow and the crew had to battle to reset. Unfazed, Brady kept his cool and kept the pressure on Artemis, never allowing them the margin they'd need to take their penalty turn. The Swedish boat then blew its best chance with a poor jibe that saw Mascalzone Latino scoot clear and stay clear, to be first over the line with a penalty on Artemis in hand.